A 5-year-old boy from Ecuador has become the face of Trump's anti-immigration raids in the U.S. Liam Ramos and his father were detained in the city of Minneapolis. Officials claim that the father was the target, not the child. But as Aman Kumar Himanshu reports, the boy's detention highlights an ongoing debate over immigration enforcement and its impact on families.
A 5-year-old boy from Ecuador returning home from preschool in the U.S. city of Minneapolis was detained by immigration officials as part of the Trump government's crackdown on migrants. Liam Conejo Ramos was taken into custody along with his father. Local officials said that Liam is the youngest of 4 minors who have recently been detained by immigration authorities in the area. But the Department of Homeland Security claimed that immigration agents did not target a child. It said that immigration agents were conducting an operation against the boy's father, an illegal alien who abandoned his son when approached. Vice President J.D. Vance also reiterated the department's claim, blaming the child's father for running and abandoning his son.
What I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien, and then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? If the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement. That doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense.
Protests erupted across the U.S. after images of Liam wearing a Spider-Man backpack and an oversized winter hat circulated online. The photograph became a powerful symbol of the human impact of anti-immigration raids, drawing outrage from parents, educators, and rights advocates. The boy's father hails from Ecuador. He had sought asylum at the U.S. border in December 2024. He has no criminal record in the U.S. state of Minnesota. There was no deportation order against him. His asylum case is still active. Liam and his father were flown across the country to a detention facility in the U.S. state of Texas. A judge in Texas has since temporarily blocked the removal of the 5-year-old and his father. In the order, the judge said that Liam and his father cannot be removed from the state of Texas pending the habeas corpus challenging their detention. The images of Liam have drawn comparisons to other haunting photographs of children caught in a conflict situation. Who can forget 2-year-old Syrian boy Alan Kurdi, who was photographed washed up on a beach in Turkey in 2015 after he drowned when the boat carrying his family, who were fleeing Syria's civil war, capsized in the Mediterranean. Or Omran Daknish, the bloodied 5-year-old boy pulled from rubble in Aleppo in 2016, representing the suffering of civilians in the Syrian conflict. Alan and Omran are not alone. There are many more such examples of children who became unintended symbols or faces of various wars and conflicts through powerful images, stories, or events that captured global attention. Remember the face of a half-buried child from the 1984 Bhopal tragedy in India. Anne Frank was a Jewish girl whose diary, written while hiding from Nazis during the Holocaust, documented the persecution of Jews. She died in a concentration camp at the age of 15, becoming a symbol of the millions of children who suffered under Nazi occupation. 15-year-old Malala Yousafzai was shot at by the Taliban in 2012 during the conflict in Pakistan's Swat Valley for advocating girls' education. She survived and became a symbol of resistance against extremism and the denial of rights to children in war zones, later winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Palestinian teenager Ahed Tamimi was arrested at the age of 16 in 2017 after a viral video showed her slapping an Israeli soldier during protests in the West Bank. She drew attention to child detentions in the occupied territories. An iconic 1972 photograph during the Vietnam War showed Phan Thi Kim Phuc running naked and burnt after a napalm attack on her village. Known as the Napalm Girl, she survived severe injuries and later became an advocate for child victims of war. Liam is not the youngest victim of Trump's immigration crackdown, though. On 22nd January, a 2-year-old girl was taken into custody along with her father in Minneapolis and flown to Texas before they were returned the next day. The father and the toddler, identified only as CRTV in court documents, are citizens of Ecuador. The child has lived in Minneapolis since her arrival in the US as a newborn and has a pending asylum application. President Donald Trump came into office promising the largest mass deportation in US history, targeting more than 10 million unauthorized migrants. Since then, data shows that border crossings have plummeted, immigration and customs enforcement arrests have doubled, and the number of people in detention is at an all-time high. After completion of 1 year in office, the White House released a report that says that President Trump has delivered transformative results with the most accomplished first year of any president term in modern US history. The White House report says that more than 2.6 million illegal aliens have been removed from the US and 0 illegal aliens released into the country's homeland for 8 consecutive months, restoring deterrence at the border. Undocumented immigration remains a major issue in US politics. About 52% of all US immigrants were born in Latin America, highlighting the region's central role in migration to the US. In addition to the large numbers from Mexico and Cuba, over 1 million immigrants come from El Salvador, Guatemala, the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Honduras, and Venezuela, reflecting the diverse origins of Latin American migrants to the US. US states, long known for welcoming immigrants, were hit the hardest. For example, the US state of California felt the sharpest impact of President Trump's immigration crackdown, with international migration plunging dramatically. California saw international migration drop nearly 70% compared to the previous year, highlighting the far-reaching effects of US immigration policies. New US Census Bureau data released on the 27th of January shows that the US population grew by 1.8 million last year, the slowest rate since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. In December 2025, the US government launched Operation Metro Surge, flooding the Minneapolis-St. Paul region with 3,000 immigration agents, part of the largest immigration enforcement effort in recent history. Public anger intensified after Renee, a 37-year-old mother of 3, was shot dead by an immigration agent on the 7th of January, and again after the fatal shooting of Alex Pretti. In response to the backlash, President Trump sent border czar Tom Homan to lead the operation and said that his government would work more closely with state and local officials on enforcement. Homan has since acknowledged that immigration and border control operations in Minneapolis could be improved. He appeared to signal a shift in the enforcement strategy, saying that immigration officials would focus on targeted strategic enforcement operations, prioritizing immigrants who pose public safety threats or have criminal records. Aman Kumar Himanshu for DD India.